Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's KaneFan701 here. I have to tell you I had a fantastic New Year start, and I gotta say, it was awesome to see 2021 fade into the history books, and so begins a new chapter in our lives, as well as a year of celebrating the introduction of 2022, and so far, I'm already enjoying the year. And I have to say, with every support and every fan that I've got left, I'm really am proud to say that 2022 has lots of hopes and high hopes for everybody tonight and beyond. Let's see what the couple of months will bring to us because I can sense changes are coming and I welcome it. Hello there, Soda Flubs. Nice to see you. As you all know, I am very, very excited about what will happen when 2022 has now started, even though it has already. I've got to say, you know, at the ending of each year, things are going to change, you know, and we need to embrace that. But for me, I've got so many high hopes for my own life, and I will hope to take advantage of it. But as I said, you know, I hope you guys will also have New Year resolutions upon you, and hopefully something in your lives will go for the best. Hello there, Thomas. Hey there, Soda Flubs. I'm hanging in as good as I am, and I have to say, you know, whatever comes is going to happen. And, and honestly, let's see what will happen when 2022 brings to the table. I know I'm a little bit lost for words in terms of that because I really had a good celebration. Still a little bit tired. I've just helped get my Christmas decorations down and, got all prepared now to embrace what this year's going to have. And I have to say, for you guys who have been with me, who were there with me on the New Year stream prior to this, thank you for tuning in on it. It truly was an honor. And, despite the fact this will be a long progress for a lot of us because we're still healing up from what happened for the last 2 years, things may get worse before they get better. But as far as I'm concerned, our journey to healing begins at this point onwards. And every mistake and every error and everything that we've done that led us down that wrong direction when the whole pandemic started, we can all learn from it and rebuild. And that's exactly the progress I want to see happen this year. The progress will be slow, but that's how it's going to have to go. Things can't just happen straight away at a blink of an eye, or even snapping your finger just like that. Hey, Soda.
Hey!
Nice to see you too, Soda. Good to see you happy and smiling. Hey, Chris.
Hello.
Hello, Chris.
Right.
Yeah. Even though it is a bit late tonight, I just couldn't help but do a small little stream because I forgot to do it earlier during the day, but I've been so busy. I was out on my first 2002 walk and the streets were absolutely empty. Like quiet as a fiddle, even though people were hanging about. But it was a good welcome in progress and took it in my stride and I had to help out get the Christmas decorations down after that. It took a long while, but it was worth helping and I felt happy for it. And,
well, I'm glad you didn't do it earlier because I wouldn't have seen you. So thank you.
Yeah,
well,
and I was preoccupied with the new Doctor Who episode.
Yeah, cool that.
Yeah.
Look, Christopher, let's not go Doctor Who bonkers, okay? Because I hate to admit this, I did watch a little bit of it, and I was thinking to myself, Christopher's got to be laughing his head off right now and having a really enjoyable time for 2022 already, despite the fact the Daleks are already trying to exterminate already. We've only just started the goddamn new year.
Mind you.
But they're not real though.
Yeah.
No, but they look as real as ever though. I'm not gonna lie.
And
look,
there's two props. Two of the props that I've seen. One of them looked like the Crucible Dalek, just with the newer weapons, and the other was, I think, he was a member of the Cult of Skaro before.
Mm.
That's what I saw. because the ID tag looked very similar to, I think it was Dalek Faye. Yeah,
Hmm.
either
have
him or
been.
Just. Eh,
But like I said, guys, I really am embracing the new year with good story. I had a really good celebration. I mean, the fireworks were fantastic. I mean, some people blew their fireworks off in my street a little bit earlier than they should have done. But then again, either someone had a celebration, I don't know. They wanted to get it over with. But like I said, it was a brilliant New Year's talk. The poetry in the beginning I thought was really lovely, and I mean the fireworks that blew off, the drones going off were just fantastic. I'm liking what they're doing with this, but I will admit there were some bits look. I'm going to regret saying a bit of it because there were some bits they said about the whole thing in the Premier Football thing, which I mean, don't get me wrong, it was nice to see the three lions come up in that really beautiful solution of our football team, which I thought was a nice tribute. Don't get me wrong. But the whole thing about, uh, well, I really am against, which makes me sick a bit. This is the reason why people don't like it. But, taking the thing to stand against what is something, unfortunately, I cannot accept. Nor will I. Look, I know that sounds bad. I know Soda Flubs and I spoke about this recently privately about it. But who really gives a damn? It's not
Hey,
my opinion. It's my
it's your
opinion, mine
opinion,
alone.
mate.
It's
exactly.
my. It's not just my
If people
opinion, but
don't like it,
I
if
know
people
it's
don't
my.
like it, then just bugger off.
I know it shouldn't be a big deal. If anybody wants to deal with it, then don't complain. The fact is, it's just like, you know, look, I know this is one of the reasons why the ongoing problems I've needed to deal with, which is why I'm going to hope this year will finally solve it because I do have some new revelations. And yes, don't think about exterminating me there, Christopher.
No chance.
Unless your dogs are going to exterminate every anti-bloke who gives us Brits and Scots a bad reputation. Who knows? Maybe. Who knows? Maybe. Who knows? Maybe I'll call Darth Vader and get the Sith Lords to take them in. Imperial Daleks, as I said last
Hey,
night.
but don't worry, Glenn. I may not agree with everything you say, but
You know,
I'm still your mate.
I know, and that's the
That's
main.
the
That's
same with
that's the
me.
bottom line. I've said this to a few people. It doesn't matter what our opinions say, as long as we don't get into a tizzy about it or go dramatic. Because this
Well,
is exactly.
I've made a choice, and I can live with what you say.
That's good.
It's hard, but I've made the choice to be your friend.
That's fine.
My
And
choice.
that's fine. I'm a random bloke who likes to pick people who will agree, if not, but as long as we don't make a fuss about it. You know what? This is a true story. What I'm going to tell you guys, and for any of you guys listening, please tune in and hear it, because back in the day when I was growing up, when I was like, back when I was in Licky Hills Middle School, because that's where all my origin story began with my interest in the Titanic and trains and everything that we all learned growing up as a kid. God, all my early years, how am I thinking this back? It's crazy, man, but I remember it like yesterday. It's not scary, but it's kind of emotionally overwhelming. I don't know why. It's like the 90s never left me. Um, like I was saying, when I was a kid growing up, when I was in Licky High School, middle school, from my first years all the way to becoming a year 7, because that's how long we had to last for. Um, Nobody actually would do such a thing. When people had their opinions, you'd speak about it, and you did. This is like childhood style, like when we were just kids and talking about when we had our opinions. It's not like you hear it today or when you hear it in middle school or in college or whatever. I mean, back in the much younger childhood days, when people had their opinions, when you had a discussion about it, you either agreed or disagreed, but you never ever went into a tizzy or lost your temper or beat somebody up for it. Back,
Yeah,
back
exactly.
then, back in those days, from what I can remember, I think it might have been different in generations before, but from my time I'm referring to, it was nothing like that at all. It was always a acceptable thing, and you were allowed to walk away, or you just walked away to rethink what you're going to say, and then you say it back after, or if you were apologetic and you were forgiven, you know. And I think that's going today didn't even exist. I don't think back in the day when I could remember, because I don't know. I never had a problem with anybody who looked different, regardless of who they were. I had no I never understood any different nationalities or different racial culture. I never understood that back then. I just felt like everybody was the same and we all lived on one big planet together on one big massive country at the time, because I didn't think there were more than one continent back then. That was me, but that was my thought process back then as a kid, because I didn't quite catch up with that until God knows how long. But still, what I've just said there, I wish we could do that today. People have their opinions about it, but don't get all angry and dramatic to seek attention. Like a certain who apparently is definitely doing who has done more harm than good or whatever. But the thing is, though, we all have our opinions and we're entitled to it, yes. But we don't want to make it personal and we don't want to, insult others, even if we unintentionally do, we don't really mean to. That doesn't make us bad people. And I do hope that, all of us can progress onwards, because I think we're in a year now that we're going to begin the healing process, but still take time while we still, try and recover from what's been happening to us for the
Well,
last couple of years.
as my mother put it, you've got two choices. You either like it or you lump it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, Roger.
All right, Roger.
Oh, wait.
Hey, Roger. Don't worry, I'm still alive and I'm hanging in strong. I've got a lot of high hopes for 2022. I mean, 2021 was a rocky year, as me and Brandon did say last year on this very night. But let's hope this one will be much more smoother. I've got a funny feeling we're entering a. I hope so. I hope Britain and America and Australia and every global country work out. Pardon, Sodor?
Said even if it's not, you've got us behind you.
Exactly.
Oh, of course. I'm
all the way, man.
I know. I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking globally, like nationwide. I mean, hopefully all of us, from the United Kingdom to Scotland to Ireland to Russia, even Europe, despite the fact we did leave. I was one of many who voted to leave. I'll admit.
Well, if it gets any worse, I'm just going to go into permanent bed hibernation.
It's just that with me, I wanted our own country back, so we can have our independence back, because that's what I felt we were missing.
Yeah. I'm pulling the quilt over and I'm just ordering pizza.
Yeah. Anyways, besides that, hopefully, America and Australia and, even Germany and France and everywhere else in the world, even Canada, good old Brandon himself, we can all get together and push through, despite we're all different in some ways, but we're all the same if you want to look at it as a global humanity style.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to sound like a spokesman here or talking like I'm being a little political.
No,
but this is.
You know what? Compared to the way you have been, I am just so glad to hear you talking like this.
This is basically what people don't know. It is. This is how I've tried to be since last year when I was forcing myself to not focus on the COVID scenario when the pandemic was at its worst. And I think we may be over the worst. Despite this whole thing is going on right now, I don't think we're in a bad situation where it really spikes badly.
Well,
I've got a funny feeling that.
I have to say, my attitude is, if it happens, it happens. I'll cope with it. But I'm fully vaccinated. I'm doing everything I should be doing. Yeah. I'm doing my flow tests when I can. I'm doing all I can. Yeah. I need to. And that's all I can do.
Well, I'm just thinking, the way that this one's going, despite the cases are going all over the place, I got a funny feeling that this one won't have too much an effect. So it might be a repeat to what the Delta did. Because that one didn't last very long.
Except if it feels like the ruddy flu. I don't want the flu.
That's exactly what it was with me when I got it. They treat it in us young people like it's just a flu, because we're not at risk as much than those who are older than us. But then again, I feel more worried because it's now been the younger generation who are like in their 20s and teenagers who are actually causing more of the problem by some of them who are not being serious with it. And as we have seen, there's been more this, ongoing protesting against the whole vaccination. And I'm thinking, why is there a need for that? Because it's time wasting. And the thing is, this vaccination.
Oh, for goodness sake, I go through so many injections because I get vitamin B12 injections every 3 months. I need it for my life because I can't produce my vitamin B12. I get blood taken out. I get stuff pumped in. I take flu injections every year. The only reason they would worry about me is catching it is I'm a diabetic. So I take longer to heal and longer to get over things.
But as long as you're breathing still and having no trouble breathing, then you're A-okay. I'll admit.
Well, I'm in my cold season, so but I don't worry about it. I'm not going to worry about it.
I usually get the cold around this time period as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes during December or this month or even in February when my birthday is. But I've been vaccinated. I even have the 12-month flu jab, which has double protected me. So I feel like I'm at ease.
I get the flu jab as well. It's when I got my COVID.
I took mine a bit early.
It's when I got my booster jab. Boy, that took me off my feet. But I don't regret it, though.
No, same here. Here's mine. I took my booster jab and it woke me up. And to be honest, I didn't have any. Well, like I said, I did have an effect. And it only lasted. But unlike the last two effects, this one only lasted for a whole 24 hours where I had the effects in my left leg. I couldn't move my leg at all. And I was a bit paralyzed in my hip. I couldn't move. I could stand up, yes. Couldn't sleep on my side properly, but I did feel like I couldn't shift on that side. And it was a bit bad. It was agonizing, let me tell you. But I managed to cope with it, and it was the actual reaction that I was looking for, and they were right. So I haven't had too many reactions as you would think, where people would just have it very horribly, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, it took me a week to get over it because my arm swelled up and went solid, but I react badly to injections. So the fact that I had two in the same arm and then I felt really bad, fluey. But then again, I always react badly to it. So.
Well, here's the thing, Soto Flubs. You and me have something in common. When I had my first jab, the side effects lasted for a whole 7 days. When I had my very first one.
Having said that, I do not regret getting them. And if I had to do it again, even knowing what I know, I'd still go and get them.
Oh, yeah, sure thing. But here's the thing. It's not having it done that counts that I'm bothered with. It's the aftermath I don't like. That's what I don't like. Having it done to one thing, yes, but it's the aftermath I tend to freak out with.
Well, I get grotty anyway, but with me, it's having needles put in my arm. My arm does not react well to having slivers of metal shoved in it.
Well, with mine, the ones I've had have barely had any effects because they just go in straight in and that's it. You don't even feel it. All I feel is just the liquid on me and that's it.
No, I react to the needles themselves.
Yeah, I know.
So every injection I have has a bad effect.
Well, the things with me, they just wipe the water bill on you and then they just jab it in and it's just a slight little touch. Although I have to hold on to something because I'm sensitive.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm really sorry to have to do this, Glenn, but it's nearly 11 and I just wanted to come say hi.
That's fine,
wish you all the best. And I'm glad you're still in there.
Well, I'm still hanging in, but like I said, I won't be taking too much. But like I said, it's only a short stream for a New Year celebration to welcome the New Year.
But it's still good to see you here, and you look after yourself, and you know where we are if you need us.
I know. It's just I won't be here as much now as I said.
That's
because
fine.
As part of my New Year resolution, I want to keep low for a while until I sort out what I want, because I am still job hunting. I'm still going to look for one. I want to get out there, despite the risks.
Good. You go for it.
No, this is me saying as a determination, like, I'm not doing it for the sake of it. I'm not going to do it like,
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm just
I want
giving
to do
you
it to prove.
encouragement as a friend.
I know. I want to do it to show that, we younger generation, despite me and Roger and Christopher and other people who may have disabilities, we may not be so-called normal, but we definitely have a lot more talent and a lot more that, well, I
Can
say
you please
dedication.
tell me what is normal?
Exactly.
Well, there is somewhat normal in some perspectives, but not everything is. I mean, currently we're trying to get normality back, and I think perhaps 2022 could be that year we get some of it back a bit more, because things really did go back to normal
Well,
a bit last year.
you go for it, Glenn, and know I'm with you.
Oh,
and
of
on
course,
that
I know.
note, I'm heading for sleep. Look
You need
after
it.
yourself.
We will,
See you
so
later.
good night.
And Happy New Year to all of you.
And you
Happy
too.
New Year.
Roger, what are you listening to? That's quite loud.
Yeah.
Roger, what are you listening to, man? That is so loud.
Yeah. Sounds a bit like
Joey Turner's Rooftop Stranded from Game Show Carnival.
Oh, shit, I have not heard that in years. Wow. I thought you were listening to one of those insane Thomas remake maulers who go completely over the top. It sounded like Lee Tunes was high on crack or something. No pun intended. Hi there, I'm Sodo Film Studios. Everything's going well. Like I said, I'm still doing a lot. I've already done some changes to some things I'm going to do already. Like I said, I'm going to stick by that, and as long as people will understand what's going to happen for the time being, I'm just grateful I've still got people I can still talk with. Regardless of what will happen, I will do what I have to do in order to make myself, to focus on what I need to do, because I really need to be there for those who need me. I'll try and find some more friends to make out there than just being here. Regardless of what people will think of me now from here on out, it really doesn't matter. As long as those who listen, what matters to me is that people are willing to listen and accept you and have no problem unless they understand exactly where you're coming from, even if they don't agree. That's a-okay, and that's how people need to appreciate one another rather than just going off into rather than going into a banter style and talking all this, things that they don't understand. They don't have to say anything to. And I also pray that the Thomas community does undergo an overhaul and gets rebuilt to a much more better one. I think a new one needs to be founded as a backup, just in case, even though I have admitted that I'm completely finished with the whole current community that has been nothing but a shamble of ash and fiery flames of argument and drama, And I also think that other fandoms need to follow in the same direction, because we can't keep on seeing what we're seeing now, because the future is here, the present is now, and it's time to act upon it and just, do what we have to do. Even if we're fans or not, we have to do what is right.
Yeah.
I have a few principles I'd like to say. Is that the thing is, number one, we still need to have zero tolerance. But with me, as you already know, I think we need to have some tolerance to some things that don't really bother us, right? Drama's one thing, and seek attentioners is definitely something we need to ignore, but at the same time tolerate when they want to do something to ruin someone or whatever the hell. Number two, we need to always stick together and just, trust one another, even if we don't agree on similar ideas or regardless. Number three, we have to trust one another. We have to be there for one another when we have to, if we can help it, despite these struggling times are very, very mistrusting in some perspectives, as we know. And as number four, we all have to put our faith into what we believe in. And we don't want our beliefs to be dismantled and used for the wrong reasons or to make us look like we're thinking wrong. And number five, always believe in maintaining the peace, love and care for those that we have as friends and families and relatives. And of course, not to forget those who have fallen, who couldn't make it into this year, because even though we have lost some people who were once good with us and who have not been here now, even if those who have sadly passed on, they'll always be remembered, and we want to remember them for a good reason.
Yeah.
And we should not remember the villain people who had left a scar on our nations and who have turned the world as we know, if you know what I'm referring to, who have made us all in the situation that we're currently in and trying to fight back with. But I think a new age of being neutral and going in a shades of grey type, if you know what I'm saying, like not picking any sides, that's how we should be now. We don't have to be on anybody's team or assist anybody who goes for a wrong cause or whatever the hell. But we are I think we're in a time period now where we should just, stay together and just kind of trust one another. Even if we have good and bad causes in us, we know what we're doing. It's just about people who just will not either agree or refuse to accept, or the fact that they just go into one big immature, drama about something that may not concern them. Oh, I see on the Sodor Studios. What kind of story do you have for your version of the two versions of Henry? That's all right, Milos. It's okay. Hello, Sim Keller. Nice to see you on for it. Nice to join the first stream of 2022.
Yeah. Nice to be part of it.
How are you coping?
On the stream. I'm doing good.
Hanging
How are you
in
doing?
There. Hanging in there, pal. Got a lot of high hopes for this year, and I can sense the changes that could be coming. But like I said, I'm a bit, we gotta, walk with caution, like we do with every new year, but we mustn't let our concerns and fears overwhelm us. Yes, Robert, I know. You had to mention his name, didn't you? He attempted to do something, I don't know what he meant, but...
Well, I don't know unless you tell me, do I?
Robert, why did you have to say that's what he intended to do? Is it something that I'm attempting to do now but will succeed and he couldn't?
By George, I think he's got it.
I don't get it.
What's he done? She's just been an annoying pain in the ass since she got here, Cyber. She edited my
Okay, now I can tell you're watching Second Cow again, aren't you, Roger? Dang it, your microphone is sensitive.
It's the episode where Unikitty first appeared.
Ah, I was just trying to remember when that was the first one she popped in. That's good to know.
Well, it's appropriately titled Unikitty.
Ah, who went after her? Anyways, Sim Killer, thanks for the fabs. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Look forward to seeing what else is going to happen. Like I said, despite everything that's been going down, 2021 definitely had its ups and downs. But let's hope this year will be much more better.
Yeah. I hope so.
And as you and I have explained before, I think this year should be a time where most of us who are neutral in what we agree and don't agree on should band together. You know what I'm referring to, don't you, Slim Killer?
Yep.
Not to agree on politically, but we need to, unite and finally just, not say fight for a cause or beliefs or whatever. It's just something I think that's now time that this year needs to see a kind of union of, people like us who can agree with what we need to say, and no one should make a fuss about it. Oh, I see how into Sodos films, I see. What would happen if Henry told Bill and Ben and that he's not the original? That he's only doing what he teach them as a lesson. Oh, I see. That's intriguing. That would kind of freak out the China Clay twins, I think. So anyway, Slim Killer, do you have any new? How are you going to envision this year to go as? Like for your New Year resolutions?
She must have. What have you done to upset the cyber? I haven't done anything.
Slim Killer, did you get my answer?
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris. You right?
Yeah, I'm probably going to continue my series.
That's right. Okay, Christopher, I couldn't hear you then. Your mic acted funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just had to pop out for a second.
That's alright. Still coping fine. But like I said, I really think this year's going to be really, really better. I can sense it. I've got a lot of high hopes for us. I really am.
That
Yes,
I
that's
completely
it.
agree with.
Every fandom, it doesn't matter what well, you can leave Star Wars out of it because that's the only fandom that doesn't get into any of it. I mean, I know I've seen people do this and that, but not to the level of like the Thomas fandom has been, or every other, that I would like to, other fandoms I would like to say. I think the only one that I don't think is that too bad, I think, is the anime. The animation that we see in Japan, the awesome stuff that they put in. I think that'll be all right.
Yeah, some of them are still pretty toxic, such as the Goblin Slayer. Yeah.
Well, I'm referring to anime as we've been seeing in the modern time. I mean, like, because I love them no matter what they have, depending on what it is. Well, sorry about that, Robert, but he is, apparently MH, unfortunately. I'll say that's his short. I'm saying that for short. He has got a YouTube account, and Talius found him. Yeah, Talius did find him, and we saw it, didn't we, Roger? We saw what it looked like, and oh my goodness, we couldn't help burst out with laughter. The nerve of some people who just won't, MH, as I'm going to call him in the future. The reason why he still goes on with his attacking on the fandom for all of us is because he just won't get a bloody voice dub role. After all, his voice role did suck. Look, I'm going to be completely honest. We all know the story. Look, you don't mind if I say his name, guys? As we all know, Mason Hagen was once a good individual. He apparently he was known by Brandon more better than I knew him. He was once good, and I feel sorry a bit for him because I know he tried his best to voice dub, but the fact is he just didn't have the talent that I saw in him. He didn't have that charisma of an actual character. It was almost like he was forcing his way into be a part of something that was just not for him. I mean, I know he likes Diesel. I know he likes Diesel 10. Yes, we all know they're our favourite villains in the Tom's fandom. Don't get me wrong. Even the same for me when I was growing up. But the way he went about it was so terrible. And let's just say, the more I found out about him, it was a little uncomfortable. That's all I will say. And since then, people don't want him anymore. Nobody does in the fandom. Heck, even I had to force myself to relinquish him from my life, and even he put me on one of his head lists. But the thing is, he's just been going on over and over, and what worries me mostly is that he could go after some people who I'm no longer in contact with that could be next on his list as well, and some of the innocent ones. But let's just say, yes, we all know I'm Sodal. We all know he was acting like this, I know. We've all seen it. In any cases, though, I mean, regardless, he's a waste of time, and he's not worthy of my time. So I'm not too at all, at ease with him or whatever. Because the fact is, he's just a guy screaming for attention that he will never get. But anyways, guys, like I said, what? What's Slim? You trying to say something? Either way, like I said, oh no, you chopped off your garlic.
That one was badly damaged, so it became an asylum Dalek, so either that or the Time War.
Oh well. Like I said, this is what I hope will become reality. Every fandom needs to forgive one another and just rebuild. It's just like it's what Batman. It's what Batman said in Batman v Superman. You know, in the movie he said men are still good. You know, they fight, they take lies, they betray one another, but we can do better and they can rebuild. They have to and they can. And those words sank in my head for a while. And to this day I still believe that line. And that's what we can do this year. So, Roger, do you have any other things to say before we wrap this one upwards? Have you got any final words to bring up about your New Year resolution for 2022?
Not really. No, I'm good.
Ah, I have a few words, eh?
Well, maybe a few.
All right.
I just really hope things get better for the world and for the people in it. Especially with the pandemic going on.
Well, it's worse in other places, but I can only imagine how bad it is in the United States and in Canada, especially. Well, we all know here in the UK it's getting a little bit uneasy, but with the more vaccinations rolling out, I think we've got a better chance because we had more vaccinations than infections that we did, and we broke that record of getting about 10 million people in when we had that vaccination during the winter, and we did it. So, anyways, Christopher, let's have you get the last word. You still got your high hopes, even though we've already started the year now?
Yeah. I'm just hoping that this year is a lot better than last year.
You never know. Could just only imagine what it would be like from now. I'm not trying to foresee I'm not trying to foresee in the next year if we make it to 2023 when Flying Scotsman makes it to 100. I can only imagine what's going to happen in that time period if any of us get there. But for now, we need to embrace 2022. What more can we do? You know. But let's just say that this year will be a lot more better. I've got a very, very good feeling. It is. I feel positive. To be honest, I feel very, very positive about this year. I really do. Don't know why. I just do. And I've got a good hunch that, some special events are going to happen. I hope that steam trains will continue to have some good success because now the year is upon us where the Big Four would be established when the Railways Act was passed. When the Great Western Railway and London North Eastern Railway, the London Midland and Scottish, as well as the Southern Railway in England, were all formed. And I got a feeling that this year should commemorate that. That they should get their flagships. Their flagship engines who represented the Big Four, like Flying Scotsman for the London North Eastern, I don't know, maybe Princess Elizabeth for the LMS or any other, or Duchess of Sutherland maybe, who's the only one running at the moment, and one of the Southern engines, one of the Bully Class Pacifics, streamlined or unstreamlined, and one of the Great Western locomotives, and they can do like a lovely lineup, and then they can do like a Big Four establishment for a big celebration, and it would bring in the people, as long as they've been vaccinated, they can show up.
Yeah.
What do you think, Slim Killer? Do you think that would make a nice history celebration for anybody who's a Steam fan?
Yeah, I do have to say, perfect EWR engine would be City of Truro. And, like I said about North Korea, they were scrapping their diesels and replacing them with steam engines.
Huh.
Maybe a brutal dictatorship, but yeah.
Well, at least Steam has a place again, despite that dictatorship going on over there. But at least Steam has found a place once again to run the whales in a very strange twist.
Well, it's still going to be 97% electric.
Oh, of course, though.
Yeah.
Hey there, James Ward 25. It's nice to see you too again, my friend. Well, Steam, we all hope that. Everybody hoped that back in the last century when everyone thought Steam was dying in the 1960s. And yet, look at where we are in the preserved era. Steam is still alive. It's got a play. It's still, it's like a big, massive human heart that is still beating. It's basically a star that refuses to brighten out. You never know what will happen. Thanks, James Ward. Nice to see you too. Like I said, I'm happy with the direction I'm going in with this. Who knows what will happen? I hope I do get a job, and no matter what it is, I will do it. It doesn't matter about how much money I'll be making. It's about getting there and just associate with people and just make new friends. You never know who it's just like I said, from the film Titanic, where Jack Dawson said, take life as a gift and do not intend on wasting it. Because you never know what happens when you wake up in the morning, who you're going to wind up with or meet up with.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what 2022 should be about. A year of just taking life as a gift and, treat it like it's, well, not like your last, but treat it like it's something special and try and make the best of times that you can. Even if the chips are down and even if you're feeling down, you know who you can count on. Even if you have friends who you don't know of, you try and associate. And that's what I think we'd all need to do. I may not be one of the best spokesmen in this place, but everything I say is a passion of something that I think a lot of people who taught me this, I feel like I need to give back. Anything else, Christopher? Would you like to say?
I would just like to say, I hope everyone has had a great new year and roll on 2022.
We'll roll on in fine Steam fashion, hopefully the best for England, hopefully for the best for Scotland where you are as well, Christopher. Oh yeah, speaking of which, did they have a very good mahogany up there?
Yeah. It was a bit quieter than it usually is, but we still had some celebrations, so it was good.
Hang on. Okay. Well, like I said, the one thing I do like about that I learned, if you don't know how I learned that word, you can thank NWR in 1991 for that. In one of his early Sodor stories where Donald or Douglas told Percy about the whole mahogany celebration. And they say they give you some kind of lump of coal and a fetid fruit cake and a handshake or whatever it is. And then they do something ending it with the fireworks or whatever it is. Along with the bagpipe and the kilt people dancing or whatever the heck it's called.
Okay, and he is my mortal enemy.
What? What do you mean, Slim Killer?
We've been over this. He's insulted me and his fans multiple times, and I was done with him.
Who?
Oh no, please, no.
Who? Your microphone's acting up.
I said 1991.
Oh, I didn't realize that, pal. Sorry, mate. Listen, I know you and him have a bit of a.
Yeah.
Well, I get that, but listen, I won't hold anything back. I still love what he does. He's still got it. He's one of the main reasons why I love the fandom for what it is for the trans community. Very inspirational. Okay.
Yeah. I just wish he, was a better person.
Well, maybe in the Trans Thomas community he is a good person, but who knows what he's like on the outside? We just don't know. That's the thing. Who knows what? I mean, he could have gone through something in his life that made him that way. You don't know that.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's like that with any. It's just like me. Although I try and be the same as I am outside the internet, I am on here. But I've got nothing against him. But like I said, his stories definitely were really good and inspirational.
Mm.
Yeah, so anything you could do to help would be much appreciated. Love.
I'll go around asking everyone I know if they've seen anything.
Thanks. You're a true sweetheart.
Okay, that is quite loud, Roger.
Hmm?
That's quite loud, Roger.
Sorry.
You need to turn the volume slightly a bit. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta say, like I say, it really is good, and who knows what will happen. Like I said, I wish the best for every nation, you know, regardless. So, I know there are some people who want hope for other reasons. I hope they will not come true. You know, keep my fingers crossed for other things, because it could clash with what I've got in store. And hopefully everything will change for a good reason, you know.
Island of Sodor Film Studios, please don't bring that episode back up.
How come? The worst line in it. Oh, I see what he's referring to. Yeah, best not to. But at the same time, that it could be one. That could be one of the worst lines ever. I guess. But either way. But regardless, like I said, I mean, we've had a great introduction, and we'll see where this is going to go. Now, I know there are some who might be watching right now, scratching their heads what we're talking about, but this is just a random beginning for 2022 streaming, and I'm happy for it. I just hope we all have a great one.
Yeah.
I hope so too.
Yeah, it would be quite nice if we all got together, you know, if there was a time. Because that would have been one of my many Christmas wishes and my New Year resolutions, if, you know, all of us, despite how far we are from each other. Can you imagine if we all did hang out and just had a great time, a whole day out, you know?
It'd be good.
It would be fun. That's what I'd love to have to happen, you know, if it was safer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I'm ever in England, I'll look you up.
Yes, Slim Killer, you would love it here in England, especially during summertime.
I've been to Scotland, Ireland, and Northern Ireland before.
I've only been to Ireland only once, because when I had my ex-girlfriend, when she took me to Titanic's home in Belfast.
That's Northern Ireland.
Yep, that's still under the British flag rule, man. Good. You know, don't get me wrong, Ireland is lovely, but I would love to go back there one time if I could afford it. Thing is, though, like I said, I mean, I've been to Scotland about 2 to 3 times, and I loved it there. Spent my time, and I loved the little hut. It's not too far from where the Preserved Scottish Railway is, where they filmed Harry Potter on that viaduct in Fort William.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was, you know, Christopher. You know, where I spent my first visits in Scotland.
Nice.
Yeah, the exact same place.
So.
It was a nice place to go in, you know, and there was a little hut that was on the mountainside right next to where the tracks were, like, further down the valley, and it kind of reminded me of what the Americans and Canadians had up in the mountain range. It was pretty cool, though.
Mm-hmm.
And
hopefully at some point I can go back to London.
You never know. But actually, you know what? I think it's best the more you keep out of London, the better. Especially if you came to where I am, in Birmingham.
Yeah.
You know, the second biggest city in the UK.
I've only been to London once, and it was a good experience, despite the fact that at the time I was still a bit wary because of what had happened in the past.
Well, you know, London does have a bit of a dark side. Let's not forget about that. But coming here and where I am in the Midlands, it's not that bad. More peaceful and much more at ease. Like I said, you should all try and have it. If you ever did get the opportunity, come down and I could be there. If you ever want to meet up one day.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Introduce you and have a day out, and that would be great. But we'd have to find each other and arrange something and see what happens.
Yeah.
There we go. Easy. That easy trains were 25. That's my number one. That always has been. Besides all that, like I said, I mean, if there are other places you go besides steam trains and everything else. One of the railways I would like you to try. Christopher, is the Severn Valley Railway, which is about 18 miles from my hometown.
Ah.
It's really nice down there, peaceful as hell.
Yeah, but I got a lot of other railways I want to visit before then. The Bluebell, Tallylyn, Snowdon.
There's many great. We've got many good railways in England, St. Kilda. But like I said,
Yeah,
you should check.
railways that I could dream of visiting.
Oh, you can, Roger. When you can afford the money or so, or maybe when the summer holiday kicks in, you just never know. If you save up enough, you could make it. Trust me. And if you do, who knows? We might run into each other.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Whoever you take with you, we have to exchange our contacts and eventually just so we can keep ourselves in touch.
Yeah.
Which will be a bit risky because we don't want to do it live here because that's one of the number one rules in the internet. Don't expose your contact to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Like
we
I
could
said-
message each other through DeviantArt.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. But then again, I know because who can Roger? Who can ever forget that one individual? Who did that once, and I did.
Oh.
You weren't there, Christopher, at the time when this happened.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure you were aware of it now, but you know who? Remember Roger?
I remember.
Back in in 2017, he showed numbers who were wanting to get and weird shit and all that BS happened, and it was just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something you would never see me or anybody else do.
Exactly.
Not like that. Not on camera, if you know what I'm saying.
A complete moron. And that's
I
just
know,
putting it
that was-
nicely.
Yeah, that was back in 2017, Christopher, before I even knew who you were. Good morning, lads. Oh. And you too. I wish I
The
could run.
railway I want to go to most, though, is definitely Sodor.
I just wish there was a bloody real place, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's Strasbourg. It's pretty close to the idea of Sodor.
Well, basically, you could say the Strasbourg Railroad is the closest to what Sodor would look like in America.
Yep.
Well, it's
Trust me.
only it's one of the few places that has steam freight services.
I know it did. Not to mention, actually, one of the closest I think being on Sodor is being on the Severn Valley Railway, where I've been to. It's my favourite place. There's one location that reminds me of Thomas's Station in Farquhar a little bit in the railway series, and that's actually the one up at Highley Station, and it has the big engine shed, right? And it looks very good. Hang on a second.
That's Strasbourg. Thomas lives there, so.
Well, basically, Thomas, the American version of him lives there. I'm talking about him being British. Like, if you just pretend he teleported there to the US.
And they had him looking pretty good, though.
Oh, yeah. They didn't have him in the model store where some people said Thomas has seen better days. Yeah, I know.
I was there this year. He was actually still looking pretty good.
Oh, of course,
Or, I mean, last year, but yeah.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'd love to go to Strasbourg. I mean, I was supposed to have gone there back in 2012, but things had changed because we met an old friend of mine who I'm no longer associated with anymore. But it would have been nice had I been there. But I didn't know the Strasbourg was a big deal at the time because I don't know why. There was just something that wasn't. I mean, growing up, I didn't find nothing satisfying about it. It just didn't have like a place where the big engines could stretch their legs or have a good run. Because anything that's short, it's not good for the bigger engines.
Well, they have 7 stations.
They do, yeah, but they only call from Strasbourg to Lem Place Junction at the end of the line. But don't get me wrong, it would be nice now that I've seen how good it is, even though trains don't go running fast. It's like a smooth style,
Yeah.
Who the heck is this douche?
Who?
On the bottom here, he's got someone here who's not speaking English.
No hable español.
Okay, what?
I don't speak Spanish. You learn that phrase if you're in Chicago.
There we go. I don't know if it is. So I'm just like whoever it is. I cannot speak anyone like that. I can't speak a different language that way. What was it? Oh yeah, it was this here in one of my videos when I was on the Severn Valley. One of these shots here. Wherever it was. There it is. I'll just put my share screen up quickly. I was supposed to be a short one, but we've nearly gone an hour. But who would he give a damn? This is just so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. This is what I refer to here. This is when I was, I hate to say this, but this is when I was in one of the worst cold winters ever. Even though it was freezing to death over here, I would need, I nearly caught ammonia from this.
Oh.
Because Tornado was there. First time meeting, it didn't go too well. But anyways, the second meeting was brilliant. But this is when King Edward II was around, one of the engines I donated to get repaired. But anyways, there's me at the Harland engine shed. And you'd like it here, Christopher. This is one of my favourite spots to rest when you watch the trains coming through.
Oh.
It's my personal favourite spot on. There's King Edward. That's me talking. Exactly.
So at Strasbourg, I met Thomas, Percy, Mavis, Rusty, and the Rainbow Sun.
I've just been looking up Bo'ness in Scotland.
Have you?
It's quite
Nice.
good.
Like
I
I
remember
said,
when I used to go there back when I was younger.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Look at that, man. Look at the look at the chassis going around. There's the station, by the way, guys. Christopher. There's Harley over there. It's like being at Thomas's station at that section. It's right there. And you have to go over that bridge to get to where I was standing at.
So.
Yeah. That's me just talking over my microphone. So yeah, that's one of the places to be at if you ever wanted to go to Severn Valley.
Oh, I also met 611 at Strasbourg.
You don't? Yeah, you did. It was really cool.
Yep, 611, Thomas, Percy, Mavis, Rusty, the Rainbow Sun.
Would have been pretty nice if, I would love to have gone there, man, if I could have afforded it.
Yeah.
There's someone vibrating.
Unfortunately, Billy Two Feather wasn't there. So that was a bit of a disappointment.
Huh. Why is it Islander Sodor fans? What's the question? And here's one of my random thoughts being I had Blind Scotsman when we last met up with each other. In the same year of 2017, at Didcot, when we are in Great Western Territory. This was one of my best shots.
So,
Alright, I will see you guys later.
you
I have to go. Bye, guys. Happy New Year.
If you didn't notice that, guys, Fly Scotsman was actually whistle singing.
Really?
Yeah, do you not hear it?
I heard it.
Yeah, but did you say something, Slim Killer? You said something over then, or whatever it was. Oh, Slim Killer's gone. Oh dear. Yeah. It's alright, I understood. Or listen, the answer's right there if you want to check it out there. Anyways, yes, did you say something, Christopher, as well when you saw that? Were you saying something? I couldn't hear you.
I was going to say it's Bowness Railway. That was the railway that I used to visit when I was a kid.
Really?
I think I've been there. I don't know. I may have been. I don't know.
Yeah, because I met Thomas, Percy. I think Diesel was there before. Yeah.
Scotland.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there was a truck near a coal mine or something. It's like there was an abandoned
Hang
truck
on, I'm just
there.
looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just looking it up right now.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a couple of them. Oh, here we go. There's the Alfred Valley Railway, the Almond Valley Light Railway, the Bowness and Killy Railway, or where is that called? The Caledonian Railway, the Drummers and Kersler's Platform Railway Station, the Fire Railway, the Highland Locomotive Company, and the Isles of Moor Railway. There's the Keith and Dufftown Railway, Leeds Hill and Wangland Railway, the Ness Islands Railway, the Royal Deeside Railway, Sandy Light Railway, and the Scottish Industrial Railway Centre, Stamford City Railway preserved, and but the one that you say isn't there. I can't see it. Hang on. Go to private. Go to private chat, boys, and you'll get the answer there. Okay. But anyways, I don't see the heritage railway that you were telling me about, Christopher. I can't find it.
Serves you right.
Okay. Let me check this one out. I may have been here. I don't know. I'm gonna have a look at it.
Terrible. Very terrible. Well, why would Alfred do this? Just
I don't think I have been on this one before. I don't think so.
imagine in an alternative world where Alfred was on Sodor.
I'll admit this station looks good. It's got a classic rooftop over its head a little bit.
Same results.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Mm-hmm.
Miranda's only been punished for behaving with the express train. And to be honest,
Small little
I think
hole.
it's false well for encouraging him. I always knew that bit was good. Thank goodness he's gone. Who knows what will happen if he's still stuck around? Indeed. Who knows what would have happened? I guess the world may never know.
I don't think I've been here before. I don't think I've actually been here or something, Christopher. I haven't seen this one before. It looks very unfamiliar. No, I don't think I've been to this railway before. I don't think.
Because there
It
was,
seems like a nice place, though.
Yeah. I remember one year when me and my parents were going, we had to stop on the way because we ended up helping someone. Someone had
Oh, I
broken
see.
down and,
That's nice
and
to know.
we went to help them.
There it is.
Like us.
Here's what I was saying about Florence Gosman whistling. It's here.
Very right.
Here it comes. There it was.
One of us. Precisely. I'm pretty sure I'd like you to say why Greeny and our dear friend here, Crimson, didn't want to be like us. Well, it's pretty simple, really. I don't want to be painted, but I'd rather be ready for anything. And it might need more of a purpose. You big blue pickle. All of you always boast and all that nonsense. You got a problem with it, Greeny. Well, yes, I do.
Oh, God, Roger. That is quite loud on your microphone, pal.
Yeah.
No offense.
Sorry.
It is quite loud. You actually got your headsets in. Well, I think we've hit that mark. We've actually gone on for long enough. I meant we might want to wrap this up Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking your time for being in this new stream for the first one of 2022, and it was an honor to have some good talks. Thanks for popping in, Christopher. Thanks, Roger, for turning up. I'll do whatever I can if I have to pop up if I need to. Just stay in contact with me and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
To stay up here afterwards when we just cut the broadcasting off afterwards. So again, it really has been awesome. Thanks for tuning in, guys, for later this time, but I'll have to get going afterwards. It's all right, James Wood. If you want to make your own Thomas OC, that's A-OK, pal. It's up to you. Take care of everyone. I'll see you another time. Stay there, Christopher.
See you later.
Hang on.